I scared them away. Is making that noise. It's like sliding down. We just went to the shop, stocked up on food. I'll show you what we bought once we get home. We're just gonna end up hanging around the flat again today. Kuba's feeling a lot better. I am not feeling sick yet, but we're still gonna end up just chilling at the flat. And I'm gonna answer some of your questions because I have a lot of questions saved up. And I think the last time I did a Q&A was a week ago, so it's good timing to do one today. Got 2 packs of frozen veggies, 2 packs of frozen berries. These we use for our marinara. This is for oatmeal and smoothies. Lots of nectarines. Grapes, bananas. Oh, I have stuff in my bag too. Got some tea, apple and cinnamon, diced tomatoes. We were using fresh tomatoes the past few days and those are really nice because our host gave us some tomatoes. Pasta, more oats, almond milk, because they don't have soy. Or they don't have chocolate soy, that is. I can help. I think what I will do is start doing a Q&A every Sunday. So I will post the video on Sunday. So if you have questions for me during the week, just say it's for the Q&A and I will do my best to keep those questions in a note. That's what I do now. And then by the end of the week, I can answer your questions in a little Q&A video. Yes, I'll just answer a few of these questions now. And so if I don't get to your question this time, feel free to ask it again because I may have missed it. But just check back next Sunday for another Q&A video and I will do my best to answer them all. All right, first question. Would you consider buying an RV in the future for the comfort of having the bathroom with you all the time and the space for a kitchen? Maybe. It depends where we would be living at the time. Like if we're gonna do the van life thing in the States, if we ever make it over there, then an RV would be more practical just because the roads are larger and it's easier to find parking. And if we had the money to afford that, maybe it's something we would try. But I don't think in Europe it would be a smart idea to get an RV just because driving around would be difficult and finding parking would be difficult. We'd pretty much be limited to campsites here, but it's definitely a possibility in the future. All right, next question. Any advice for someone starting out vegan? I've started and stopped a few times now, not because of any desire to eat meat, but because I'm simply not feeling full enough. Yeah, it's difficult when you start out vegan because you're probably not eating enough calories. That's why you're feeling hungry. I'd recommend tracking everything you eat in a website like Chronometer. That's what I used when I first started out, and especially when I started eating high carb, low fat. It's very important that you track how much you're eating during the day. Because if you cut out stuff like meat, cheese, and eggs, those are all very high in calories and high in fat, so you might not be replacing them with enough calories to keep you full and satisfied. Another tip is to just bulk up on starches and fruit. They provide a lot of calories, lots of nutrition, and they will keep you full. But check out Forks Over Knives, the documentary. It's on Netflix, as well as their website, forksoverknives.com. They have like meal plans, recipes, lots of articles and information on there to get you started on a vegan lifestyle. And I think that's my favorite. It's my favorite documentary and my favorite website as a source and for recipes. Everything's healthy, delicious, easy to make. But really just make sure you're eating enough. And I wouldn't limit yourself just to like breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you're starting out. Just eat whenever you're hungry. Fruit's a good snack. Something like bananas, those are high in calories. Things like rice, pasta, oats, potatoes. Potatoes are great for keeping you full. And just foods like that. Just make sure you're eating enough of them. All right, next question. Is Kuba Polish? Yes, he is. Did you have to overcome any self or cultural limiting beliefs to start traveling and then move over to Europe? This question confuses me a little bit. Yeah, before I started traveling abroad, I worked as a pastry chef. So like that was kind of my identity there, is that that's what I was known for. That's what I was doing for several years. So I kind of had to get over the fact that I am like leaving that part of me behind to start this new life. I've always believed that like that my career at any one time wouldn't define me as a person. I've had other careers in the past too for several years, and it's just a matter of starting over and leaving that part of me behind. On one hand, it was difficult because I really like baking and pastry, but there were several reasons why I didn't want to do that any longer. And when I was in Scotland, there was a brief period where I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do, like creatively, because I wasn't vlogging then, and I had just published an ebook too. So once that was over, I had all this time to think, and it's like, what do I do with my time? So that was something I had to overcome. So yeah, I think that's a good answer. If I didn't answer it correctly, please let me know, because I'm not really sure what the self and cultural limiting beliefs would be. But anyways, next question. Do you attend any events while on the road, such as shows, theater, and cinema? If not, do you miss it? I do actually. We go to the cinema not super often. I think the last film we saw was the new Blade Runner flick, which was awesome. I saw that twice. We've also been to this jazz festival in Zagreb. That was over like 4 days. That was really cool. And we went to several little shows in... Where was that? Was it in Belgrade? I can't remember if it was in Belgrade or not, but yeah, we've been to little shows here and there, just checking them out. If we notice anything when we're walking around, like posters or whatever, we just take a photo of it and save it for later. Yeah, Zagreb, that's where we did the most like cinema, show, festival type stuff, because there's always something going on there. Alrighty, how do you spend your time? Do you learn something, make some food, or do you have another hobby? Right now, all of my time is devoted to these videos, so if I'm not filming or going somewhere to film or like walking around, I'm editing, researching things. I do spend a lot of time on YouTube, like researching things. We like to go for walks too, but that's part of the filming part of my days. Like when we walk somewhere, I'll just be filming that. Reading, sometimes I did have a goal at the start of this year to read 1 book a week, and I've only completed that like 50% of the time. So if I do have free time, I try to read. And then studying languages is something that it was a hobby of mine for a long time, but right now I don't make enough time to do that day to day, but it's something I should be doing. So thanks for the reminder. I'm wondering if there is something you would change or improve about your life. Like maybe there's something about the van you would change or something you would have done differently. Part of me wishes that I would have started documenting my life on YouTube much earlier. Like when I first was inspired to sell all of my stuff, quit my job, and start my minimalist journey, I really wish I would have started documenting that, because it would be cool to see my progress through the years. Because now it's like, it'll be 4 years this fall that I've been living as a minimalist, or since I started my minimalist journey, and 3 years that I've been abroad in December. So it would have been cool to have like daily vlogs going all the way back then, but if I would have started vlogging earlier, I doubt I would have met Kuba, because vlogging like this takes a lot of time. And when I first moved to Scotland, when I was living in Glasgow, if vlogging was my entire day, I doubt I would have met him. And I have a video on how we met too, so feel free to check that out. It's a pretty cool story. But yeah, we talk about that sometimes, where it's like, oh, it'd be so cool to have all those videos, but we wouldn't have met. I really doubt we would have met, because I would just be so busy that I wouldn't have the chance to meet him. And then I probably wouldn't have stayed in Scotland that long either if my goal was to pump out these daily vlogs and see new places. I probably would have stayed in Scotland briefly and then moved somewhere else. So I would have missed meeting him. So I can't have it both ways. I really like it, so it would have been cool to start that earlier. So if you are inspired to start a blog or YouTube channel, whatever, just start it now. And honestly, all it takes is that first step, starting something, and then it gets easier as you go on. So I highly recommend, if you're interested in starting a channel, a blog, whatever creative project you want to work on, start it now, today, when you have the motivation and the idea. Just start it, and then the rest will just fall into place. Which country have you found to be the most vegan friendly on your travels so far? It kind of depends on what you mean by vegan friendly, because we've been able to find vegan food in every single country we visited, because there's always going to be like these fresh produce markets. All the supermarkets have vegan stuff, even like vegan specialty products. We haven't had a problem finding those. But as far as like vegan friendly restaurants, I would say cities in Scotland like Edinburgh and Glasgow are the most vegan friendly cities I visited. Berlin's another one, but I didn't really sample the vegan scene in Berlin when I was there, but in Edinburgh and Glasgow, those are like two vegan hotspots for sure. It's not the healthiest vegan food, but they have a lot of options for eating out as a vegan. Croatia is awesome for vegans because there's not only do all the supermarkets have like a little vegan section and vegan products, but there's also DM. It's like Walgreens, or what's the other one called? CVS in the States. It's like a drugstore type thing, but they sell like beauty products and other stuff like that. But they also have like a huge section of like natural foods and vegan stuff, organic stuff. So I like to check them out for like cornflakes and things like that. All right, next question. I was honestly wondering why you don't swim in the sea more often. It's such a great way to cool down these days. One of the reasons is just that it's a huge faff for me to bring my camera in the water or near the water, and I'm just not big on swimming. Like I've never been that way. I'll go in the water a little bit, but I'm just not a big swimmer, go in the water type of person. What kind of stress do you deal with in your life? It seems like your life is pretty stress-free, but one never knows. Yeah, my life is pretty stress-free. Like little things will stress me out here and there. Sometimes I get stressed out if it's like taking like 30 hours to upload a video through my phone or something like that. Or when my allergies were really bad this past summer, that was really stressing me out because there was nothing I could do. But other than that, I just like let everything roll off. I've taken steps to remove stressors from my life to where now I really don't have much stress day to day. And even little things like about the videos uploading, it's really not that big of a deal. I just like things to be moving efficiently. So if a video is taking like a day and a half, it kind of just is like, ah. But other than that, there's nothing really stressing me out right now. I think this will be the last question. I think it's getting kind of long. Do you guys know any other couples who are traveling or have traveled similar to us? No, I do not. Maybe Kuba does, but I don't know anyone who travels like us or who has traveled. Maybe in the future we'll meet up with some of them, thanks to YouTube, but right now I don't know anyone who travels this way in person. Haven't met them. That's all the questions I'll answer today. So check back in next Sunday for another Q&A video.